Greetings. This briefing will be on the cybersecurity professionals and the workforce gap that we're facing today. My name is Robert Chubbuck. I have over 25 years of information technology and information security experience, working for both small and large organizations and providing everything from basic network design and desktop support to project management and performing security audits. I survived the dot-com bubble and the burst, and over the course of my tenure, I've mentored numerous individuals to expand their knowledge and experience, including the areas of digital imaging, network security, e-commerce, cyber law, and computer forensics. Currently, I work as a contractor to the federal government, leading a team of cybersecurity professionals to provide infrastructure and security advice to the government. This includes areas of threat and vulnerability analysis, system design review, system compliance certification, training, disaster and business continuity planning and execution, and just providing overall general security advice. I'm well versed in different compliance areas and different compliance frameworks, and I hold a number of different certifications, including the CISSP. I'm an EC Council certified instructor. I'm also a CompTIA instructor. And I've spent time both in the civilian side of the federal government as well as the Department of Defense side. As technology evolves, so does the opportunities and challenges that it provides. We are currently at a crossroads, moving from a society already embracing the internet to the coming of age of automation, big data, and the Internet of Things. As a society that runs largely on technology, we are also very dependent upon it. Just as technology brings ever greater benefits, it also brings ever greater threats by the very nature of the opportunities that it presents. It is also a focal point that cybercrime, industrial espionage, and cyber attacks will continue. Every day we read about another company being hacked, attacks outpace defenses, and one reason for this is the lack of adequate cybersecurity professionals in the workforce. The cybersecurity workforce shortfall remains a critical vulnerability for companies and nations. Conventional education and policies are not able to meet this demand. New solutions are needed to build the cybersecurity workforce that we need to be able to address the greatest threat that we are facing today. The rapid emergence of this technological evolution changes the way businesses operate. Technologies such as the Internet of Things, cloud computing, automation, and intelligence enables new data-driven, distributed, machine-enabled business models. This creates an unprecedented opportunity to unlock new value. While the opportunities are not guaranteed as the technology advances, what is guaranteed is the level of cyber risk that organizations must navigate. Analysts are estimating that the cyber risk globally could slow the pace of technological innovation by as much as $3 trillion in lost economic value in 2020. What is and what can be done to address this? There are a number of areas or sectors where cybersecurity is lacking trained professionals. This includes every sector from systems integrators to the federal civilian side to DoD to healthcare to financial services and manufacturing. And one of the things that we can do as a society to be able to address the cybersecurity need is to increase our cybersecurity spending. The size and growth of the cybersecurity spending correlates with the size and growth of the cybersecurity workforce and reveals how countries and companies are prioritizing cybersecurity. In the United States, the US government and the financial services industry, as big cybersecurity spenders, are uniquely positioned to pioneer recruitment and development practices for others to emulate. In a similar fashion, the US and Israel, as large exporters of cybersecurity products and services, have established the expertise and thus have a head start on improving their workforces. Look at the banking industry. It is very active in increasing cybersecurity spending. Reflecting on its prominence as a huge target, banks are 3 times more likely to be targeted than non-financial institutions. 5 banks alone are spending more than $1.5 billion on cybersecurity. However, there's a great need. One of the biggest issues is that there just is not enough talent out in the workforce to be able to address this. This deficit of cybersecurity talent is a challenge for every industry sector. The lack of trained personnel exacerbates the already difficult task of managing cybersecurity risk. This skills shortfall falls into a number of different categories. High-value skills that are in critical short supply include attack mitigation, intrusion detection, and secure software development. These are the most scarce, or the areas that offer the biggest potential for individuals to get into this workforce area. These skills are in a greater demand than just the soft skills of communication and collaboration. It's vital that we take individuals and train them in the different areas of cybersecurity. Academic institutions are the primary source of the initial education and training for cybersecurity professionals. Certain methods may be needed to assist the growth of these specific cybersecurity skills. This will include alignment with industry, the use of certifications, and significant practical lab-based exercises. By the incorporation of practical learning into these academic programs, these individuals will be better prepared to address the real need that we see out in the field. Ensuring that these individuals have the requisite technical knowledge and background to help position them to be able to grow as technology changes in a rapid manner definitely will give these individuals a leg up to be able to address the overall need that we see. Anybody that is going into the cybersecurity field can be broken down into a number of different areas, and how, based on the personas, knowledge and skills and capabilities of that talent, of those people, will help to determine the area within the cybersecurity arena that would best suit those people. Building on the cybersecurity workforce framework of the United States, the National Institute of Standards and Technology's National Initiative for Cybersecurity Education, there is a cyber talent model that can be identified that has 7 different cybersecurity personas. Each of these personas helps to define the type of person that would fall into being able to perform certain cybersecurity functions based on their persona. These personas include the strategist, the advisor, the defender, the firefighter, the hacker, the scientist, and the sleuth. And based on these different personas, or the types of people that are going into this field, will help determine how successful they will be in certain types of positions and the types of people that we want to fill these positions with. In addition, they need to have certain types of capabilities. And this refers to the broad capabilities that are transferable across the different tasks and work environments. We want to focus on those that are the most critical to the work associated with a particular persona. And these capabilities include the ability to influence, to lead, to communicate, their ethical impact, their critical thinking, their quantitative, their judgment, their threat mindset, the ability to collaborate, being agile, being creative, and having a social awareness. And finally, the knowledge and skills of these individuals will fall into a number of different areas. Okay, this is an abstracted list of knowledge and skills necessary to execute certain types of tasks. These are more resistant to disruption than the narrow expertise and training on a particular technology. However, they are at least the permanent component of the model. And this includes areas of computer forensic, security incident management, intelligence analysis, data science, cryptography, penetration testing, security tools administration, threat modeling, infrastructure security, IT administration, security risk management, security architecture, policy, legal, and regulatory, as well as having a business acumen. And by taking each of these, the personas, the capabilities, and the knowledge and skills, will allow us to look at individuals in different ways and understand the different areas that they may fall into. So if you take someone that's got both a strategic as well as a defending persona, they may fall into being more of an advisor because they can fall in between those two different areas. Whereas somebody that has a background that's more of a hacking or a sleuth would fall more into the persona of a scientist. The personas are organized in the shape of a wheel to illustrate their relationship with one another. These personas that are located side by side tend to be more similar than those on opposing sides of the wheel. Also, while each persona is distinct, individual cyber professionals are likely to identify with a primary persona, but will also have an affinity for neighboring ones. To create stability, the framework prioritizes transferable capabilities over specific skills. Although skills remain important, they need to be viewed in a supporting role, not as the lead act. This means instead of focusing on their hiring and training efforts around specific technical skills, organizations would be likely better served by thinking in more broad term or broad personas with sustainable capabilities that are portable across many different occupations and roles. This model provides the basis for understanding current and future cybersecurity workforce dynamics, while facilitating communication, education, recruitment, and workforce planning. Now I'd like to look at some of the different personas themselves and what types of capabilities, knowledge and skills, and the types of common roles that they may fall into. So a strategist or strategist will provide cybersecurity management, direction, and advocacy. They'll have certain capabilities of that to be able to influence, to lead, to communicate, and they'll be ethical. They'll have a very ethical impact. They'll have knowledge and skills of business acumen in policy and legal and regulatory areas. They'll have the understanding of security architecture and security risk management. Types of roles that these individuals will likely fall into would include items or roles such as the Chief Information Security Officer, the Cyber Strategic Analyst, the Cyber Policy Analyst, the Cyber Communications Analyst, or the Cyber Program or Product Manager. These are leadership roles with a very strategic slant. Next, we'll look at the advisor. The advisor will advise on the concept, the design, and/or the building of secure systems and networks. These individuals will have the capability of critical thinking, communication, quantitative, and influence. They'll be able to advise both at the higher levels as well as the lower levels what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. They'll have knowledge and skills in the areas of security risk management, security architecture, policy, legal, and regulatory, as well as having a business acumen. Common roles for those individuals include security architect or the security risk analyst or the application security analyst. Next, we have the defender. The defender will support and administer and maintain the security of systems and data and the networks. They will have the capability of good judgment, of a good threat mindset and collaboration. They will have knowledge and skills in infrastructure security, security tools administration, security risk management, and security architecture. Those individuals will commonly have roles of a system security analyst or a security administrator. Next, we have the firefighter. The firefighter is the individual that will help to analyze, identify, and mitigate threats to internal systems, data, and the networks. They'll have capabilities of agility and being able to be very nimble. They'll have critical thinking skills, good judgment, and a threat mindset. They'll have knowledge and skills in the areas of security incident management, security tools administration, infrastructure security, and IT administration. Common roles for these individuals will include cyber analyst, security engineer, cyber incident responder, vulnerability analyst, security operations center manager. These are leadership roles. However, they're also able to really jump in and take a hold of any kind of incident that an organization may be facing. Next, we have the hacker. The hacker will conduct specialized threat detection and deception activities to identify and mitigate cybersecurity risks. These are individuals that are maybe working either on the good side or the bad side. However, when we look to hire them into our organizations, we need to look at them as being ethical. We need to look at them as having a threat mindset and creativity and have critical thinking skills. They need to be able to do penetration testing, or have knowledge and skills of cyber forensics or infrastructure security and threat modeling, being able to determine the different types of threats that can help expose a system. Common roles for someone that has the hacker persona include a cyber operator or a threat hunter. Next, we have the scientist. The scientist will perform specialized analysis of threat intelligence and cryptographic and security information to improve the security posture of the system. They will have the skills and capabilities of critical thinking, a threat mindset, and quantitative skills. They will also have knowledge of intelligence analysis, data science, and cryptography. Their common roles will include the areas of threat intelligence analyst and cyber analytics manager. They are looking at the overall system to try to determine how things happened and how we can better perform our security to be able to protect the environment. Next, we have the sleuth. They will investigate cybersecurity events or crimes related to the systems, networks, and digital evidence. Their capabilities include a threat mindset, social awareness, and critical thinking skills. They also need to operate in a very ethical manner. They'll have knowledge and skills of computer forensics and security incident management. Typically, the sleuth will be a cyber forensics analyst or a cybersecurity forensics analyst. These are individuals that can dig in deep and look at the minutia to help determine specific events and what their root causes are. So how do we close the gap? How do we address the need for the lack of cybersecurity talent that's out there with millions of job openings in the next few years? Closing the cyber risk gap and enabling organizations to capture the full promise and value of new technology defines an opportunity that we have right now. Emerging technologies such as automation, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and advanced analytics can help augment some of this organizational traditional cybersecurity efforts. However, those technologies will never eliminate the need for human experts, at least not anytime soon. So what type of educational requirements are out there for these individuals? What are we really looking for? Well, a degree in a relevant technical subject is usually the minimum credential to enter into the field. However, cybersecurity offerings at the higher education level are not as common or as technology current as they should be. Relevant cybersecurity as an academic discipline or a program of study is also many times inaccessible to students. So when I look for someone to break into cybersecurity, there's three things that someone needs to have. They need to have an education. This should at a minimum be a bachelor's degree. This helps me to understand and know that the individual has the requisite knowledge from a program and it shows that they have the ability to learn and grow. Because technology is constantly changing, education is the key to get started, and ongoing education is the key to stay at the cutting edge. Next, I look for certifications. Third-party certification helps to provide employers a method to help measure the level of knowledge that someone has, regardless of the institution that they went to. That way, I know how current their knowledge is. I know, what their background level is in certain technical areas. Next, I look for their experience. And this does not always need to be work experience in the field in the traditional manner. This can be provided through internships or even part of projects and labs that are learned within a program. This allows them to have the story or be able to describe the things that a potential employer may ask about down the road. They may ask about the different tools or different things that somebody has learned about and been able to do. So where do we go from here? Potential cybersecurity professionals need to be learning the critical knowledge, skills, and gain the abilities they need to be equipped with. The areas of science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, and other cyber concepts are vital to anyone trying to break in to today's ever-evolving technologies. Thank you, and have a good day.